Hello, listeners of Akashvani Teju. Once again, welcome to back to another interesting interview. Akashvani Teju has been bringing you many guests from all over the country and sharing their varied expertise and experiences for the benefit of all our listeners. So here we have with us Madam Anuradha HR, a leading theatre educator from Bangalore. She is a lead member of the Untitled Arts Foundation Bangalore and an ardent well-wisher of the Lohit Youth Library movement. She has been trained in arts education, language and development at the Royal National Theatre London, and for the last 25 years she has been an art educator and practicing theatre artist. She has trained thousands of students and teachers across the country over the last 25 years. And we had the pleasure of having her with us during 2016 December when she conducted training programs in Tezu and Wakro and rowing for teachers as well as students. So ma'am, welcome to Akashvani Teju. It's once again happy to have you here in Teju and in Lohit with us.
Thank you, my pleasure.
We also have with her in the team Miss Saadrusha, who is also a member of the theatre group. Ma'am, let me just start with the first question. What made you choose to visit Arunachal in December 2016 in the first place? And how did you choose Lohit Youth Library movement to offer your theatre and art expertise, and that too totally free?
We are constantly looking at organizations which are working with children in the joy of reading space. Because what today children are lacking is, the habit of reading books. Umesh, one of our friends, I think he had visited here previously.
Yes, in 2010.
Yeah. So he, over just a coffee table conversation, this came up and he said they're doing very good work. And that was it.
Okay.
We said, no, we have to, because if we don't support each other, for such kind of work,
Yes.
who will? So we said, okay, whenever we can afford it, we should be able to go and help the library network with programs that we can offer to value add to their initiatives. Yeah. And as it is, we know funding is always less for such initiatives. So we plan in such a way financially so that when we come, we are able to offer it free to all the students and the teachers.
Thank you so much, Madam Anuradha. It's been a great blessing for the young people of Lohit and the Bang Valley to have you here. And it has been such an interesting experience in 2016 when you had conducted this program. Now this year, you have been in Lohit and rowing during the last 2 weeks, and you have been conducting theatre training sessions for students as well as teachers. For students right from class 3 to 10. What are your impressions and experiences this time?
Children are amazingly enthusiastic. I can very visibly see a dearth of such initiatives for them. They constantly are looking forward. So they jump on the occasion a lot. So cultural equity, creating equitable opportunities for all of them in such spaces is very important.
Yes.
The teachers also are enthusiastic.
Okay.
But again, the whole system, I think, focuses so much on the academics of things that the teachers also find it slightly difficult to cope up with other initiatives.
Yes.
So I think as a system, there needs to be a balance. And children anyhow are like clay. What you give them, they will mold themselves.
Correct.
And especially the arts and theatre gives them a lot of scope into a world that they haven't seen.
Yeah.
And which may not be accessible to them at this age.
Right.
And they are very keen, they're very curious, they want to know. And I think school children are the best age group for institutions and academics to tap into their curiosity. And art and theatre, I think, is one of the greatest medium.
Okay.
And I had a wonderful experience with children. I am looking forward to come back every year to meet these children and see, and share what I can share with them so that my life also get enriched and theirs too.
Oh, that's very nice. That's very nice. In fact, this year, the three Deputy Director of School Education, Tezu, Namsai, and Anjav, were very keen that you conduct the program. But as you know, the Panchayat elections have come in as a clash. So they have not been able to organize many programs in the government schools. However, now from tomorrow onwards, during this next coming week, you will be having an occasion to visit government school students in Meadow and Vakro.
Oh, lovely.
And what are your memories of the last time's 2016 training programs in Vakro, Teju and rowing? Did you meet some of those old students?
Oh,
who you
yes.
trained?
Yes. I met Betham, who is now working for Wipro Foundation, and she's doing amazing work. And it is so heartening to see how these children have grown. And even her classmates, somebody is doing a PhD now, somebody else is working somewhere in Hyderabad. And it is so nice to see them venture into this world with confidence. And whenever I speak to all of them, they constantly tell me that the confidence, their ability, their honing of their skills all came more from the library experiences that they have had rather than the school. Of course, the school gives you the skill and the academics, but to use it creatively, to plan their own life, to take agency of their own personal life, the whole concept of being an individual and responsible for their own life and career came from the library.
Okay.
And came from initiatives which the library took with us, with others, where they invite resource persons and they collaborate with others. And you can see a visible change from their personalities and the strength of their personalities to people who have not been the same classmates who have not been involved in the library initiatives for their own reasons. So they are, I think, a standing example for the whole of Arunachal and children and parents to see what a library can do to the future of your children.
Okay, oh, very nice. And with teachers, what has been your experiences this year, and were they enthusiastic and were they open to learning something new?
Oh, yes, the teachers were very, very, open to learning. And most of the workshops that we do are very experiential. So they are not lecture based.
Okay.
And that was such a huge relief for them. Because for them, they feel like they are sitting in a classroom every time they attend a training.
Yes. Yeah.
But this time, it is a collaborative participating training. So we facilitate learning rather than teaching them something. And it is more about them doing certain things, then doing a postmortem of it and saying what worked, what did not work, how we can sustain good things that we are doing, how we need to unlearn certain things. So this experiential learning, when they experience it on their own, they're able to, some of the feedback I got is most of our teacher training has been in a classroom where somebody comes and writes on the board and tells us what to do, what not to do. But whereas here, we experienced ourselves and learned by ourselves what works for us and what works for, doesn't work for us. And also what works for me need not work for some other teacher.
Oh, yes, true.
And that experience, they said, now I can give the same experience to my children in the classroom. And that learning, I think, is a huge success for the teachers, by learning by experience rather than by theory. And they were very, very enthusiastic. They were looking forward for more. They wanted to know where we can attend more workshops like this. Even the school, heads who were running the schools, they also were like, okay, when do you have long-term programs? Can we send a couple of our teachers there to learn?
Wonderful.
Can you come here and spend like a couple of months with our teachers and do? So I think the education department also can look into great opportunities which the Bambusa Library brings to them and collaborates with them to enrich their own teaching capacity in government schools. I think it's very, very essential.
Yeah, that's very nice to hear. and we all in Lohit will be very, very happy to hear such positive feedback from you about the teachers, because generally the image of the teachers is not that glorious, but here we have heard from you that teachers are very enthusiastic. Could you share some similar experiences from the children's side?
Oh, yes. The children, generally, there is a lot of freedom given to children in our workshops, which they rarely find in the academic setup. And that is what I think motivates children to learn. So, art and theatre gives that kind of environment where children are free to explore, free to fail, basically. Because one needs to fail to learn, and also failure is very important for them to gather themselves and get up. Because that is what life is all about. And those kind of experiences, and where it is a safe place to fail, there is no judgment when you fail. That is very, very important for children. And the appreciation of each of you have identities, each of you have a way of expressing, and each one's way of expressing is valid, and nothing is higher or lower. That hierarchy is not there. For them to even learn that, oh, there is no hierarchy. Even if I write in 5 lines with whatever little bit of language that I know is equal to somebody whose language is also good, because it is about the expression and not about the language. That gives them a lot of confidence.
I see. Very interesting.
Children were very, very happy with that experience.
I'm sure the same will be the experience when you go to Meadow and Vakro also. Yes. Especially Vakro, you have been there before, and definitely there will be somebody or other who met you and who got training under you. I'm sure many will be there.
Oh, I'm greatly looking forward, actually.
Yes. And what about the parents? Did you get some opportunity to interact with the parents and give them some feedback about this, or did you get the same opportunity last time?
No, unfortunately, no. I think last time we met a couple of parents who had come to pick up their children after the workshop, and we had very informal conversations with a few. But this time there was no formal interaction opportunity, and I think I would love to have that kind of an opportunity, because I can see, or what I hear from teachers and even students, the parents' focus is so much on academics, and their worldview, a lot of them are first generation learners, and even if they are second generation learners, parents have anxiety of what will happen to my children, their future, their careers. And in that anxiety, which I see even in the urban setup, across India, across the world actually, where the children are focusing on so much on academics, because the parents think that is the world, that is what will get them where life will take them. But parents also need to learn, need to know that creativity is very, very important. That is what makes us human. And in today's world of technology, the only thing that will differentiate you from a machine is because you're a human. And we need to identify, we need to recognize what is the core aspect that makes me human, that I can use to build a life for myself. It is not about how much money you earn. It is about how much satisfied I am in life, how much contented I can live my life, how peacefully I can live. Those values, I think, are deteriorating with the increase of capitalism and materialism. And parents are also fed with this information through their exposure, and they think that is the world. And hence they are preparing their children for that kind of world. But that is not the world. That is marketed like that. So parents need to be educated to differentiate, critically view the information that comes to them, look at different perspectives, and then decide and make informed decisions, which in urban setup to an extent it is possible, but in places like Arunachal, with technology only being used for certain aspects of entertainment, then it becomes precarious because they think entertainment is the world outside. So parents get exposed to a very different kind of world which is not reality. So they're basically preparing children for a world which is not real. And that needs to be addressed. And the other issue is the substance abuse that I see with elder children that I observed. And when I speak to children about their own elder brothers, sisters, I think there needs to be a formal sort of a space for parents to come and discuss and share and learn as to what good parenting is. Because from what I learn, I might be wrong, but from what I learn about the culture over here, nature taught our children how to survive. But today, the kind of technology and the kind of exposure and the kind of market and the kind of development that is happening, our children are not being exposed to nature the way they need to be, like how it used to be. Now, if we follow the same philosophy of nature will teach, actually nature is not around them to teach. Nature has been detached from our children. And hence, there is no learning happening, but there is manipulation happening with our children. That parents need to realize. So, which calls for better parenting skills.
Okay, that's very interesting, Anuradha ma'am. You have told some very important points, especially for the educated parents. It's very important to think about these aspects and guide their children to become independent and creatively thinking. Coming to the purpose and philosophy of art and theatre education in schools, is it important for the students, or if so, in what way it will help them in the classroom or in the school education?
I think art and theatre is a life education. A lot of exposure to art, be it music or theatre, helps children develop spatial skills. Helps children develop verbal competencies. Helps children develop confidence. Helps children think critically about themselves and the world. It helps children view the same problem from various perspectives. It helps children recognize what the core problem is. And it helps children perform academically better because they are less stressed. There is a place where they can come and express and relieve their stress, which is very, very important for children. Children need to be heard. And most of the other subjects are being taught where, okay, you know what, this is what you need to learn. Whereas art is about what can you share. And that space becomes very important for children. And a non-judgmental space, so that they are mentally in a healthy position when it comes to learning academics, and the absorption becomes higher. And secondly, why do we educate children, be it math, science, social science, whatever that we're teaching them, is because they can go out to the society and solve problems of the society. And they might learn to solve a maths problem, or they might understand a science concept. But what is very important is for them to identify what is the problem in the society. Ability to look at that problem, because society is filled with diverse kind of people. Ability to look at the problem from a diverse perspective, so that the solution that they suggest is not a problem to another part of the society. So, and also, if they have to arrive at a solution, maths problems have formulas. Science problems have formulas. Societies and community issues and their own life issues will not have formulas. They have to come up with processing their own solutions. And that comes with creativity. That comes with confidence. And it builds a lot of mental health. Art and theatre, because it gives them a platform to express without judgment, that I think is very important for a positive mental health growth of children, which is very, very, very essential. And also mental health to question what they see. Today there is no platform where they can question. If they see, and most of them are addicted to phones, and if they see something on Instagram, there is no platform for them to say, why do I think this is right? And to debate, why do I think this is wrong? Even if I believe this is right, what are the consequences of that? There is no place to discuss these things. They just see it and the algorithm will feed them what they like,
Right.
and they tend to believe that this is
Correct.
the truth
That is
and
the
this
truth.
is how.
Yes.
So some of the elder children that I was talking to, when I asked them, what do you want to become when you grow up, the answer I got was, I want to become cool. And it was quite shocking.
Oh.
What is cool? Can you define cool? It is about dressing up well. Okay, great. But where are you going to get money from dressing up well? No clue.
I see.
So the depth of what they need, understanding, right? If I have to reach somewhere and this is my goal of life, there is nothing wrong
Yeah.
in expecting that I should be dressed well, I should be presentable or I should be cool.
Yes.
But children should know, what do I define as cool?
Yes, yes.
Am I defining what cool is to me, or is some other, is Facebook or Instagram defining what cool is to me and telling me, and I'm just following the trend?
Okay.
And if I follow the trend, I lose my own identity.
Right, right.
That awareness slowly has to develop in children, and that only art and theatre can give.
Okay, okay. That's very interesting, very interesting. But today our school children are overburdened with so much of classwork, tuitions, especially after their school hours. They hardly get any time. And plus these distractions, what you have been mentioning. So will students be able to discover and promote their own artistic talents? And how can they do that?
Um, the one way for children to develop their artistic talent is, I think, the responsibility lies in the system.
Okay.
To give them the space to do that, to give them the opportunity to do that, to give them the exposure to do that. A children need to know, hey, this form of expression is available for me. I can learn it. I can use it for my self-expression. But if they don't even know that it is available, how will they
Correct,
develop?
correct.
So exposure and creating a space for cultural accessibility becomes very, very important.
Okay.
And also today, what I see from 2016 to today, the difference, I want to link this
Yeah.
answer to the question that you asked me before, is I see children losing their own roots, losing their own mother tongues.
Oh.
When I came in 2016 and I would say a word in English or Hindi, and I would say, what do they say this in your mother tongue? All children were able to answer.
Acha.
Today I don't see that.
I see.
They are now unable to find a vocabulary in their own mother tongue.
Okay.
And mother tongue is a rooting of identity, belongingness. And this is very, very basic need of a human being. And if we don't give them this, then it leads to other social issues, from
Yes,
substance
yes.
abuse to suicide increase to
Yeah.
mental health issues, all because they don't have a strong rooting.
Correct,
They don't have a sense of belonging. They don't have a sense of ownership towards where they belong, because they don't know where they belong.
Yeah, yeah.
So, mother tongue and local culture rooting is very important.
Yeah.
And in a way, when I came in 2016, I thought, you know what, Arunachal is lucky because they are unpolluted from the outside world. So they have a strong rooting in their culture, and it is very, very important for children to develop their identity and individuality. But today I see that little sinking, and it's very sad because we have lost that for our children.
Right, right, right.
And where there is an opportunity for the nation to keep it alive in the name of development, I think we are losing, our children's mental health, and that I find is quite alarming. So children need to be given the space. The
Okay.
system, I think, is responsible to give them that space,
Okay.
and only then children can have a place to develop on their own talents.
Okay. Now with children under so much of academic or so-called academic pressures, the parents are equally in that condition. So what would you advise? But parents के लिए आप क्या मैसेज दे देंगे? किस तरह हमारे बच्चों में ये उत्सुकता और क्रिएटिविटी डेवलप करने का चाहिए? आप कुछ ये पॉइंट में आप ज़रा सा बताने से अच्छा रहेगा.
हाँ, मैं पेरेंट्स को बोलूँगी, पहले एकेडमिक्स परफॉर्मेंस आपके चाइल्ड का जजमेंट नहीं है. जो एकेडमिक्स में अच्छा करता है, ये बात ऐसी नहीं है कि सिर्फ एकेडमिक अचीवमेंट ही मेरे बच्चे को फ्यूचर देगा, नहीं। आप अपने बच्चों को जो भी चीज़ वो एक्सपेरिमेंट करना चाहता है, नया ट्राई करना चाहते हैं, उसके लिए स्पेस दीजिए। और इतना प्रेशर कि तुम्हें यही स्कोर करना है, ये करना है, गवर्नमेंट जॉब ही करना है, इतना प्रेशर अच्छा नहीं होता बच्चे के लिए, क्योंकि उनके दिमाग में वर्ल्ड व्यू कम हो जाता है। क्या है मेरे हिसाब में उनका वर्ल्ड व्यू छोटा हो जाता है। जब छोटा हो जाता है वर्ल्ड व्यू, तब उनका एस्पिरेशंस भी कम हो जाता है। तो एक तरह से प्रेशर डालने से बच्चों के दिमाग का भी प्रेशर होता है और बच्चों का सोच भी कम हो जाता है। तो हम ही खुद प्रेशर डाल के हमारे बच्चों का फ्यूचर बिगाड़ रहे हैं वैसे। तो अपने बच्चों को थोड़ा फ्रीडम दीजिए, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दीजिए, लेकिन थोड़ा डिसिप्लिन भी दीजिए। लेकिन डिसिप्लिन बताने से नहीं आता है, आप खुद डिसिप्लिन एग्जिबिट करो, बच्चे देख के सीखते हैं। तो जो आप बच्चों में देखना चाहते हैं, पहले आप खुद करो, खुद बनो, फिर वो चेंज आप बच्चों में एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं। नहीं तो बहुत मुश्किल है।
जी, बहुत अच्छा होता है। एंड नाउ यू आर ए थिएटर प्रोफेशनल and we feel that these are valuable learnings for children. So can Arunachali students, youth take up theatre as a career in life? Is there sufficient scope or potential for them?
I would say today in India, theatre as a career is not possible for anyone.
Okay.
Not only for Arunachali children, for anyone. There are theatre institutions like NSD.
Yes.
In Karnataka, there is Rangayana, Neenasam, then Bhopal Rangmandal is there.
Okay.
A lot of institutions are there. But the question is, what happens to these artists once they pass out of these institutions?
Yes.
I have seen people who, with great passion, go into NSDs and Bhopal Rangmandal, and after that they are jobless.
Okay.
And very few people click in films. If you and if you have to do any of films, there is no point in getting trained in theatre, because there are film institutes. You can go there. So theatre as a career is difficult in India because there is no funding. Because there is no systematic organized labor force in the technology of workforce. There has been slightly improvement after the CBSE and NEP came about. There is schools which look for theatre teachers. But they use most of the private schools which can afford to pay a theatre teacher. They are not looking for theatre teachers to actually value add to children's life. Their focus is on, अच्छा साल में एक बार एक बड़ा सा प्रोडक्शन कर लो ताकि हमें नए स्टूडेंट्स एडमिशन मिल जाए। तो मार्केटिंग टूल बन गया थिएटर। जब आर्ट एक प्रोडक्ट बन जाता है, तब आर्ट ख़त्म हो जाता है। तो आर्टिस्ट के लिए फ्रीडम जो चाहिए अपने आर्ट को प्रैक्टिस करने के लिए, और टू सर्वाइव प्रैक्टिसिंग देयर आर्ट फॉर्म, इंडिया में इतना फ्रेमवर्क नहीं है। तो आप थिएटर को एक सीरियस हॉबी लो, क्योंकि वो आपके प्रोफेशन में ऐड करता है। और जब आपको लगे कि मैंने अपने लिए थोड़ा पैसा बना लिया है, कि मेरा फ्यूचर थोड़ा सिक्योर है, तब आप फुल टाइम थिएटर एंटर करो। नहीं तो अभी थिएटर फुल टाइम थोड़ा इलाइटिस्ट हो गया है। जो दोज हु कैन अफोर्ड कैन प्रैक्टिस थिएटर लॉन्ग टर्म, अदरवाइज पैशन only is remaining, and that is sad for India, whole of India actually. But just because you don't have a career in the arts does not mean you should not practice. Because everything is not career. Arts brings value to your career. If you are a practicing artist, like for example, for a lot of my life, I was a human resource professional. I was in the learning and development space. I am in the organization development space. That's how I used to earn my money. But I always made it a point to invest the money that I learned in learning arts.
Okay.
Every year, invest time, effort, money in honing my theatre skills enough where I reach a point where I say, hey, you know what? Now I can give back to society using the arts.
Okay.
That is something that I would suggest people to do. But I wish we had a better system of, the government and education department especially recognizing the role of artists in schools, not art in schools. What is happening
Yes.
today is it is becoming like अच्छा एक teacher social studies teacher या science teacher है she can draw well and hence we will make her only art teacher.
Art teacher.
That is what is happening. So you're limiting art to a skill. Art is not a skill. What art teaches is the ability to take risks, ability to be creative.
Okay.
That does not come with a skill. It comes with a mindset.
Yes.
And that mindset artists have. So I always propagate a system where you allow artists to practice their art form
Yes.
and help them in an education space where they give back to society and at the same time are able to earn their living
Okay.
through education.
Yes.
Because now they're doing both jobs. They're surviving as artists
Yes.
and they're educating, which will build a future audience for the arts and which will also build future artists
Okay.
confidence that they
Right,
can
right.
survive.
Correct.
That kind of system is what Untitled Arts also is working towards.
Okay.
And we are seeing, hoping that some policy changes also happen
Okay.
within the larger Indian context and in the state level
Okay.
context where
Yes.
this becomes possible.
It's very nice that with your visit, we have been able to get many more ideas, and I'm sure our listeners, those who have been following this program, would definitely start thinking about how to guide their children better to bring out their creativity, and also for the state planners to visualize a better quality of education in Arunachal schools. So, ma'am, thank you so much. It's been a great pleasure listening to you, and once again having you in Akashvani Teju. I'm sure our listeners would find it very interesting and they would look forward to your many more visits. Of course, you have another 1 week of programs in Teju, Namsai, Meadow, and Vakro. So I'm sure all those learners and the parents and the teachers will find your sessions very beneficial and very rewarding. So thank you once again, Anuradha ma'am, for coming over to Akashvani Teju.
Thank you so much, Uncle Moosa. All this would not have happened without, yours and Bambusa Library's collaboration and cooperation. I think every district of Arunachal and actually whole of India needs Bambusa libraries. And only then these kind of initiatives are possible. And I thank, on behalf of my team, to both Lohit Library Network and Uncle Moosa for making this happen in Arunachal and adding value to every child in the state. Thank you so much.
Thank you.